Hi everyone. Okay, so it's 9:30. We just ended our morning meeting and now you guys are going to go ahead and do math. We're going to go ahead and do lesson 2. So that's incorrect. Lesson 2, chapter 1. Make sure you are watching both of my videos. So you're watching one right now. That means that you should have watched the lecture one of me in front of the whiteboard first, okay? So I kind of went over that today, but make sure you watched both before you do your assignment. Okay, so go ahead and go to your math book. I'm going to go through a couple pages that you're going to copy down, and then I'm going to give you a short assignment, okay? So here we go. So we are comparing and ordering whole numbers through the millions. When we compare, we talk about what is greater, less than, or equal to each other. And we're going to order them in least to greatest or greatest to least. And we're working with numbers up to the millions place. So we're working with some big numbers, okay? Let's go ahead and start out with an easy example. It says the table shows the 2 largest oceans in the world. Which ocean has a greater area? Ooh. Is it the Atlantic Ocean, which has 33,420,160 miles? Or is the Pacific Ocean bigger at 64,186,600? So we're going to find out by writing these numbers correctly in the charts. It wants us to put the Atlantic Ocean in this top area. So let's copy the numbers in. We have a 0, 6, 1. I'm copying it from right here. 0, 2, 4, 3, 3. All right, and then we're going to put the Pacific Ocean here. I'm going to go back going the other way. You can go either way, whatever is easier for you. Sometimes if you start on this side, you always end at the right spot. If you start in the wrong spot on the left, it might affect everything that comes behind it. So do whatever is easier for you. Just make sure that it looks like this when you're done. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and look at the greatest place. What's the greatest place that these numbers are both in? Notice they're both sitting in the 10 millions. If they're both sitting in the same spot, we can go ahead and just compare these 2 digits. The 6 from here is what compared to the 3? And again, I can compare them because they're in the same spot on my place value chart. Well, 6 is greater than 3. Since 6 is greater than 3, that means 64,186,600 is greater than the 33,420,160. So the blank has a greater area. So what number was that? What ocean had the 6? It was this 6 here for the Pacific Ocean. So the Pacific Ocean has a greater area. So what we just did is we compared 2 numbers that had number places up to the millions. And that's exactly what we're doing today. So let's go ahead and get you guys started. This is actually going to be where you do your work. I'm going to do a couple examples from each part, and then you guys are going to finish it, okay? So we're comparing. Is it going to be less than, greater than, or equal to? And we're going to write it in the circle. So let's go digit by digit. I have a 4 and a 4, and they're both in the 100,000 spots. So far, they're equal. Then I go to the next one. I have a 6 in the 10,000s and a 2 in the 10,000s. So now that they're different, a 6 and a 2, which one's bigger? The 6. So you must put in your symbol like this, that this number is greater than this number. All right, let's get down here. Notice these look really identical, but notice it's missing these numbers over here, the 424. So I want you to be careful when you're doing this because this number says 132,000. This says 132 million. So even though they have the same digits, notice that this number is a lot bigger because the 1 is sitting in the 100 millions. This one is only sitting in the 100,000s. So I know that the number with the 100 millions is much bigger, okay? I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Let's look at this funky one. Whoa. Okay, so these are in the 100 millions and these are in the 100 millions. So I can start on the left. I have a 7 and a 6. Well, those are different and the 7's bigger. So I'm going to write 7 is greater than 6. Or I can say 700 million is greater than 600 million. Okay, now I want you guys to go through and do the rest. Okay, now we're on to ordering the numbers from greatest to least. It's very important that when you list them in order, the first number you list is the greatest one. The last number is going to be the smallest out of the series of numbers you see. So we're going to look at these. I have a 1 in the 100,000s, a 1 in the 100,000s, a 1 in the 100,000s, and a 1 in the 100,000s. Those are all the same. So now I need to go next door. Now I have a 3, a 3, a 3, and an 8. All of these are equal, but this one has an 8. 8 is bigger than 3, so this is my biggest number. So this is going to go here, 183,487. That is my first one. Then I'm going to put a big line like this to separate my numbers. So I did this one, so I can cross it out. I'm done. Now I'm comparing these three to figure out which is the next biggest. So they both, or all three share 1s and then 3s. Then I have an 8, an 8, and a 9. 9 is bigger than 8, so this is my next biggest number, 139,006. Next. So done with that. Now I'm comparing these last two. 1, 3, 8, 0. Then I have a 2 and a 3. Again, I'm comparing the digits that are sitting in the same spot. This has a 2 in the tens. This has a 3 in the tens. 3 is bigger than 2, so this has to be the next biggest number, 138,032. Because that's my next biggest number, I know that this one that's left is the smallest. And you should always go back and check. Okay, so I'm going to go through, let's see, I want to assign you 6, 10, and let's do 5. And then on here, this takes a while. How about you guys just go ahead and do number 14, okay? And then you can be done with that. Now let's go down here. I'll do an example and I'll just assign you 1 or 2. Now they want us to go from least to greatest. So that just means do the same thing I did up here, but just flip-flop it. I want to list the smallest number first. So let's go ahead. I have 85 million, 85 million, 85 million, 85 million. So far they're all the same. So now I'm going to look in the 100,000 spots. I have a 2, and I'm going to go like this to help separate the numbers because it's hard for me to see that. Okay, so I have a 2, a 2, a 2, and a 3. Ooh, that's the biggest. But they want me to put the greatest numbers last, so this one must go on the end. This is my greatest, and they want me to list it last because it's going least to greatest. So now I'm done with that one. Okay, after the 2, I have an 8, a 9, and an 8. Well, the 9 is bigger, so that must be the next number. So that's going to be 85,290,700. Okay, so we did that one. Now, what's left? I have a 9 in the thousands and a 5 in the thousands. Which one's bigger? The 9. So that one comes next, 85,289,688, which means this one is our smallest and it comes out in front, 85,285,671. Okay, and then because that does take a long time, then I just want you to do number 17. So again, your assignment today, when you're done watching this video, or if you want to come back and see, what I want you to get done before math stations is page 19. I want you to do number 6, number 10, number 5. I want you to do number 14, and then I want you to do number 17. Remember, when I meet with you this week during math stations, we will go over the answers, okay? So I will see you guys on a little bit during math stations, okay? I'll see you in a little bit.